Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of Agoracom, in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives after they put out important news. With us today for the first time ever, Lauren Rapkin, because he's the new CEO at PlantX Life. The company trades on the CSE under the stock symbol VEGA, for our friends in US under PLTXF, and even for our friends in Europe on Frankfurt under WNT1. For those of you new to the story, and there's going to be a lot of you because the company keeps putting out really big news, especially their numbers. The first thing you have to understand is that the plant-based food, the plant-based industry is undergoing what we're calling a paradigm shifting, parabolic growth phase. And it's unstoppable in our opinion. In fact, the plant-based food market alone is expected to grow to reach $74 billion by 2027. Massive growth. PlantX Life is the one-stop shop for everything plant-based. So it's not just plant-based foods. They want to be and are actually executing on becoming the digital face of the plant-based community. So in addition to foods, they've got meal delivery, plant-based products, plant-based pet foods, a restaurant locator, and even plants. Believe it or not, when we first saw that, we're like, plants, but plants now are starting to take off all over the world. They've been ahead of the curve. More than this lip service, record revenues, annual 6.58 mil, quarterly, the last quarter 4.3 mil, monthly, April just over 2.04 mil. They're busting on all seams. They're doing amazing stuff. Lauren, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, and great to be here.
Hey, glad to have you because we want to talk about the numbers because that's obviously the most important thing. And some of the things that have happened subsequent to that actually tell us there's a bigger story coming for you in the next quarter and year. Let's talk about the year-end financials first. Most companies have 6.6 million in revenue, and they're going to say that's a fantastic year. And it was. In your opinion, how good was the year, given the fact that you started literally from zero?
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and I was getting a lot of feedback from our shareholders, other stakeholders, potential investors, where we showed comparatives in our press release, and they said, "Well, how did you go from $1,000 in revenue to $6.5 million in revenue?" And I thought that was like the greatest accomplishment, achievement in year one, where people are like, "Well, did you miss some zeros in the prior year when you were reporting in your press release?" And I said, "No, that's just the growth that we accomplished very quickly in year one." So, I think that, was something that was a serious accomplishment for, the team and obviously at PlantX for year one. And we keep on growing, quarter over quarter, month over month. And, as you were kind of saying before, right, we keep on introducing new verticals, new products to the platform. And that should only help us keep on growing that top line.
Well, let's talk about that. The last quarter, and we'll talk about news in that as well, but the last quarter, Q4, so the annual number doesn't tell the most accurate picture. It's a lag because Q4, you guys did 4.3 mil. If I extrapolate that, and by the way, that's not a perfect science. So, that assumes you continue to stay there or grow. That's a $17 million year. And the last month that you've reported, April, with 2.04 mil, that is extrapolated, again, not perfect science, as high as 25 million. Do you guys expect to, at the very least, maintain, the numbers that you've been putting up, or do you actually expect to see yourselves continue to grow quarter over quarter, month over month?
Yeah, so we've seen some, positive, growth since we've reported these numbers underneath our different verticals. Obviously, that we've been acquiring companies, some accretive and some obviously complementing our platform, but it's allowing us to introduce those new products to different regions. So, when we acquired a company out of, the UK selling, plants to homes, now we're replicating that, across the EU and into Canada and into the US, and our meal delivery, the same thing. We have now a new client base that we can, utilize, where we're now going to be able to offer, a new, different product to an existing client base. So, we're really expecting, the revenue to keep on increasing. We still have commitments from, wholesalers that, we did announce, several months back that there was a guarantee of, or at least, a commitment to purchase up to $25 million of product from PlantX. So, that still continues, and, accomplishing or complementing everything else that we're doing. We're expecting that run rate to, be achievable. But, to your point, there is no perfect science. We do use our best estimates, and, we just continue to work towards, growing that top line and increasing profitability.
So in addition to filling an existing pipeline, which is smart, right? You got a pipeline of customers, keep putting new products through them, that you're definitely going to get growth out of that, no matter what the uptake is and adoption is, you're going to get growth. So that's great. But what I really liked is that in the last several months, you announced your first products on the Walmart Canada marketplace. That was in June 2020. And your first set of products on the Hudson's Bay marketplace in March of 2020. So you're going after some great partnerships here. How do you expect those to play out? And I know it's been early for Walmart. That was just June, but are you seeing some early success? Are you happy with how those massive relationships are going?
Yeah, I think it just continues to legitimize the company, right? That significant large brands, Walmart and Hudson's Bay, right, are willing to partner with us and allow us to provide the products through their platform. So to your point, it is early on, but we are seeing great traction and more recognition. The markets are recognizing our brand, our logo. So it definitely helps us by having Walmart and Hudson's Bay being part of our face.
I'm assuming that also that's not just third-party validation with respect to your products, which is most important. But what a lot of people don't realize is these two partners also signal third-party validation with respect to your fulfillment abilities, your ability to actually produce, deliver, logistics, all of that. Because if you can't do that, you can have the greatest product in the world. If you can't get those deliveries into Walmart or Hudson's Bay when they tell you they need them, they're not going to do business with you. And a lot of people don't realize how strong the underlying support is of this company, right?
Yeah, and I totally agree. And that's where our focus is starting to not shift, but we're definitely putting an emphasis on it, on, making sure that we have facilities to accommodate that growth and that, ability to basically fulfill those orders in a more timely, efficient manner. So, when you look at our acquisitions of brick and mortar, like a restaurant, for example, that's doing a couple things. One, it's educating our potential customer in the plant-based space, but it's also acting as a fulfillment, warehouse where we can store product at, a cheaper offering. But then it's also doing advertising. So we're really, looking at the brick and mortar in a very different, in a different view versus just having an establishment where people can go and enjoy, whether it's a plant-based meal or a plant-based experience. It's really a multi-purpose environment that we're creating, but more importantly, it's really allowing us to have geographical locations, across the world, and allowing us to fulfill products a lot more quicker and efficiently.
Lauren, safe to assume that this is going to be a avenue the company's going to pursue aggressively, potentially with more partnerships as more of these big brands want to break in the space. And if so, how much easier does it make it for you to break into the next big retailer when GeorgeCom Retail, when you can walk in and say, hey, George of GeorgeCom, we're already servicing Hudson's Bay, we're already servicing Walmart, we can easily, how much easier does it make for you to keep knocking down those partnerships?
Oh yeah, proof is in the pudding, right? All it takes is one time to become the expert. So really we're working very hard on making sure that we establish these relationships where we can fulfill them and make sure that we're not running a mess at the end of the day. And I think, yes, when we perfect the system, it really allows us to replicate it. And that's what we're doing with our growth down in San Diego with the store. We've learned a lot of things with the acquisition in Squamish at the Locator, and we're going to be able to replicate that. And especially moving into the Israeli market, we have the store opening there in the next month. So really we're learning, but we're also able to replicate it at a lot quicker pace. You
were appointed, let's talk about you. You were appointed CEO earlier this month. You're a numbers guy because you're CFO. How big, when you take a look at analyzing your markets, because you're not a one-trick pony, and you're in multiple, geographically multiple locations. How big is this market going to get?
Yeah, numbers wise, I wish I can give you the exact number, but that would just be throwing a dart at this point. But, you can just see the demand associated with, I think it may be part of, the pandemic that, we're all going through right now, but you can see the demand of, the online platforms wanting to have, the prepared meals or the perishable, non-perishable items, home plants. But, you look at as close as home as possible. And I look at like some of our shareholders and some of our advisory members, for the company, and everyone has a story about, a plant-based transition, whether it is bringing those home plants into the home or switching their diets because of, a medical issue, or, they just feel better about themselves. And you can't go a day now without hearing in the news or in other, media campaigns that, massive restaurants and retailers are really taking a step to offering the plant-based alternative. So the fact is that we're an early adopter and an early offering, or we're actually offering through our platforms, all of these things that people are in demand for. So, I think we have a good, lead on our competitors at the moment. And, again, I just look at how the growth is going in, our sales, whether it's, again, prepared meals or the non-perishable foods or the in-home plants. It's been remarkable. Things that I just would never have, contemplated, 2, 5, 10 years ago.
And by the way, you're looking at a partial convert. I'm a traditional Greek meat and potatoes guy. I kind of dabbled in plant-based foods a couple of years ago, and then once you guys came online, we've ordered our first products. Love them. Think they're amazing. The chocolate donuts are a savior for me because I'm 50 plus years old, and having sweets isn't a great idea. So those.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I'm a convert as well, right? I started out, the meat and potato. I enjoyed a steak, and I'm not saying that, I don't dabble in it. And that's like the best thing about PlantX is like, we don't judge here. We just want to offer, the ability for someone to come in here and purchase, the plant-based, offering. But, like I got a taste of it. And, my biggest concern was that, a meal was never going to fill me the same way as like, the chicken or the meat. And it really does. Like we have,
fills you more
partners.
It actually fills you more.
Feel a little bit better, right? Like it's, my strength is great, and I feel like stronger during the course of the day, sleeping better. But yeah, it's I think it's a great offering, and you can again by the retailers out there, the major retailers, the major restaurants, you can see that they're adding this to their platforms as well. So here we are. We're now making it accessible in people's homes in a much efficient, more effective way.
Investors who want to do their due diligence. Sometimes doing due diligence on a public company is very difficult. But would you agree in this case, Lauren, that my suggestion to everyone at home, which is get onto PlantX.com and order some food, some snacks, some different things, and do your due diligence? Because if you end up loving the food the way I did, then you've got to assume that that's going to be great for future growth, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the beautiful part about the company, we love feedback. So, if you do order that meal and you like it, share it. If you don't like it, tell us why. And, we're always looking to improve and take, investor feedback and customer feedback and take it to the next level, because, like what we were saying with the numbers, we're still a new company. We've been around, almost over a year. But we're not immune to change, and we really want to grow as people tell us their demands and their wishes, and we have great partners and a great team to really accommodate that change.
What now that you're CEO, give us a little glimpse into your plans. And when I say plans, I mean this. There's obviously a short-term plan. I mean by that 12 months. What are the kind of things that you're gonna maybe focus on, or new ideas you're going to bring to the table, and then maybe give us a glimpse into your longer term plan over the next 2-3 years. And again, I'm not asking for specifics, I'm not asking for a business plan here, but just to give shareholders at home an idea of kind of the direction you want to take the company as the new CEO.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, the biggest thing, and I always go back to the financials because again, that's my background, is really looking at profitability. And we have these great verticals. And, the biggest feedback I got on the financials is, first year you have a loss, but you have great revenue. But, the thing that I just always want to make people aware of on the financials in that first year is that loss is a little bit on the inflated side, right? It's a lot of non-cash items on there that are generating, a little bit or contributing to that loss. But now it's really time to look at the verticals that we have acquired and start to grow them, but also become more profitable. So like we spent a lot of money on, getting the advice on acquiring a business, whether it's legal fees, accounting fees, audit fees, those will all start disappearing. So now we're able to run the business the way that we know how to run the business and to grow them and become more profitable. So that's the next 12 months is really looking at all of the verticals that we've created and that we've acquired, and then tightening the spend that we can now generate those profits, because the top line is going to grow. But now we just want to make sure that we're running them as efficiently and as effectively as possible. And the only way that we're able to prove that to the markets is to show profit. So that's really where we're going to spend, from a financial side, the next, 6-12 months. And then, I kind of hinted at it before, really, we're looking to expand our footprint, and whether it's more brick and mortar to accommodate the growth of the more real-time fulfillment, or offering, the grocery component where people can, get educated and walk into a physical location. But again, it's going to complement our advertising campaign. So like we're really accomplishing, 3 things in one when we do the brick and mortar, and that we'll see build out over the next 12 months.
Well, and I'm excited about the brick and mortar, because you may have some people who haven't thought it through clearly, saying, well, why'd you go brick and mortar? You're an e-commerce platform. You can just stick to that. But for everybody at home, you got to remember, Apple is the biggest, one of the biggest high-tech companies on the planet, and Apple stores play such a vital role in their growth.
Yeah.
Why? Because you get a chance to walk in. They're always releasing new customers, new products, right, Lauren? And you don't know what they are, so you get to feel them and touch them. I think the same goes for you guys. Plant-based foods and plant-based products are brand new, and it would really help if I could walk into a store and say, let me take a look at that and talk to somebody, give me some knowledge. So that brick and mortar is going to play a big role.
Yes, I think that's going to be, again, how we're going to grow and how we're going to get into those new markets, the education. But again, it's really important to know that it is a multifaceted, brick and mortar. It's just not there to be the grocery store. It will be that education piece, and it will be the fulfillment center. And what I always talk about, it's a great way to advertise, because, when you're in a very, like our store down in Squamish, many people visit that on a daily basis, and we have PlantX all branded throughout the, through the location. To me, that's just great advertising, and it's always new people, it's new visitors. So that's what our brick and mortar is going to really do, on top of the fulfillment and on top of the education, is to be, another advertising stream.
Let's talk about the celebrity side a little bit before we wrap this up, because you've announced 2 pretty cool things. One is, and I'm going to read this, PlantX and Bloombox UK announced campaign to celebrate the release of Disney's Jungle Cruise, right? And you've also got the Chicago Bears quarterback, Justin Fields, as your next ambassador. Let's talk first about Disney Jungle Cruise. How do you tie these in together? It's hard to see the tie-in here.
I think you just go to what we're doing with, that type of campaign, right? We're offering a select variety of plants that really complement or at least mirror, the jungle experience. And, plant lovers out there will certainly enjoy, the selections that, that our team out in the UK have basically are offering. And that's really what it is. We're really, playing in on, the movie and being able to, give that to, our customers to kind of have that nice little compliment. But yeah, it's really playing off a great name, it's probably the largest entertainment company in the world.
Unbelievable.
To show that they have, faith in us and they see us as a legitimate company. It really takes us to, the next level when we're talking to potential investors or we're talking to our current investors or stakeholders. This is a company that's been around since the beginning of time and the largest and the best in their space, and they're willing to come on board and partner with us in this campaign. It's super exciting, but it's also very humbling to see that we've only been around for a year, and this is exactly something that they want to partner with us with.
And again, I'm going to throw in there even more third-party validation, because Walmart's tough, Hudson's Bay, they're tough. All these big corporations are tough. You can't just walk in the door and start. But let me tell you something, Walt Disney, from what I've heard, is the toughest, because they're so tight about their name, their brand, everything associated with them, that for you guys to have teamed up with them on this promotion for Jungle Cruise is unbelievable.
Yeah, we're very excited.
Last but not least, you've already got Venus Williams as an ambassador. That was a great one. A couple of other people, but you also recently appointed NFL quarterback Justin Fields. I believe Chicago. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I don't know anybody outside of the Cowboys. What does it mean to bring in an NFL ambassador? Because, we all look at NFL players, and if we ever thought there's a meat and potatoes, eating demographic, we would think that it's NFL. And right. Here you are, you got Justin Fields promoting and being an ambassador for PlantX.
Yeah, listen, I think it does exactly what we've just been talking about. Besides, being the wow, the cool factor of having, an amazing athlete like Justin, and especially like Venus and some of our other ambassadors, really it's educating the market out there that, you don't have to be the meat and potato person anymore. Like, these are amazing athletes that have totally, transformed their diet to be plant-based, and look at how they've succeeded in their, in their professional careers. And I think that's like, just if you take a step back, that's amazing for the plant-based world, right? That, they're really out there selling that you can be as strong and as powerful and as like an amazing athlete as they are by just having the plant-based diet. So I think, from an education point of view, having these ambassadors is amazing. But also we just go back to, the Walmart, the Hudson's Bay, the Disney, young athletes, seasoned athletes, people that are looked upon by millions of their fans. These are people that are partnering with us. So again, we just go back to the solidification of us being, a legitimate company, and, having the offerings that they're willing to partner with us on. So, a lot has happened in a year, but you can see the excitement with these young athletes, and, that they're willing to, put their name on the line as well, because, they're the front facing people on our website. As soon as you click on the site, you're going to see a picture of Justin, you're going to see a picture of Venus. So, again, it's exciting, it's amazing, but I think they're really doing a blessing for the plant-based community and for all the other plant-based companies out there by educating and showing that, if they can do it and they're enjoying it, that, other people should try it.
And what I really like about him coming on is that you already have Venus, and she's got Venus's Picks, which is a curated list of PlantX product that she likes, which I'm sure, by the way, is fantastic. It's great. But no matter what, I'm a male, right? And when I see someone like Fields now we're going to see Justin's picks of what he likes, curated products off the PlantX platform. You know what? That's gonna drive me and other guys, even closer to say, okay, I wonder what he's eating, because he's a big, he's a big, strong guy. If he's eating. If he's eating, these 8, I'm not sure how many products have 5, 8, 10 products where he's going to have. Chances are I'm going to order those as well. So I think it's genius just in the variety as well, that you've got Venus Williams, top-ranked female athlete, and now you've got Justin Fields, a top-ranked male athlete. So kudos on that, on doing that.
Yeah, again, it's very exciting, and we're so happy that they chose to partner with us, and especially being a newly formed company.
Lauren, we could go on and on talking about PlantX and the plant-based industry, but we'll stop it there because this is action-packed, and everything from fantastic financial results, which is so important, to great partnerships with ambassadors, to great partnerships with mega corporations who are not easy to partner with. to me, it just looks like all systems are go. And I can't wait to see under your leadership now where PlantX is going to go every quarter, next 12 months, and especially next 2-3 years. It's going to be really exciting. I'll leave the last words to you.
Yeah, I thank you for having me on the show. But yes, to your point, it's an exciting time. We look forward to, providing those great results, but, our team is working hard each and every day to get us to the point where we need to be. And yeah, we'll just keep on hoping for, positive results and great partnerships moving forward.
Thanks for joining us, Lauren. Can't wait to see you next time.
Thank you.
For everybody at home, you've been watching or you've been listening by podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, your favorite podcast platform, to Lauren Rapkin. He's the brand new CEO of PlantX Life, trades on the CSE under the stock symbol VEGA, VEGA, and for our friends in the US, PLTXF, and for our friends in Europe under WMT1. If you're just discovering the company, this is the part where you do your due diligence. One, get over the PlantX profile on the Gorecom. Take a close look there where we give you a 10,000 foot overview because we know the whole plant-based industry is new to a lot of people. So we get to give you a good overview, but then to do your ultimate due diligence, you can see it right above them there, plantx.com. Get there, do your deep dive due diligence. I've already told you, as far as the market knows right now, this is going to be a $74 billion industry by 2027. And that's just the plant-based food side, let alone everything else that PlantX is doing. Do due diligence. Just don't say 12 months from now, 24 months from now, and 36 months from now that we didn't tell you so. Have a great day. See you next time. Hey guys, this video is over, but don't forget to help your company by liking it and even leaving a comment below. And then don't forget to help yourself by subscribing to our channel and never missing another great Agoracom small cap video.